Well, Carrie Lam has vowed to work on Hong Kong's ties with the Chinese mainland. Before she was sworn in, Lam sat down for an interview with CGTN's Peng and said a closer relationship with the Chinese mainland would contribute to Hong Kong's prosperity and stability.
For many years, Hong Kong has been trying to strike a delicate balance between having a closer relationship with the mainland while at the same time maintaining some sense of autonomy. Some people call the power from Beijing here in Hong Kong an interference from Beijing. Some of them are even calling for pro-independence here in Hong Kong. What's your take on that?
Well, let me first make it very clear that Hong Kong is an inalienable part of the People's Republic of China. So any talk about independence has no room in the city. And I don't think it is sort of a view shared by a significant number of the people of Hong Kong. When we talk about one country, two systems, it is one holistic integrated formula. So it's not two systems on their own. It's one country and hence two systems. That's why my first task is to help people of Hong Kong to see that a closer relationship with the mainland of China actually contributes to Hong Kong's continual prosperity and stability. Because you just look at the strong relationship between Hong Kong and the mainland in terms of our financial services, in terms of our professional services and tourism, it would be difficult to imagine how Hong Kong could continue to thrive without this growth in the mainland economy.
Well, now for more on this, we are now joined by CGTN's Xu Zhaokun in Hong Kong. I'll begin by asking you, how did the ceremony go and who was in attendance?
Hello. Actually, this morning a grand ceremony was held right inside the Hong Kong Exhibition Center behind me. Actually, this is one of the largest ceremony in the last 20 years, but not very different from the previous sworn-in ceremonies. The only difference I see is that the new chief executive is a female, Carrie Lam. She was sworn in this morning under the supervision of the central government delegation and President Xi Jinping. And together with her, 21 major members in her cabinet were also sworn in by Carrie Lam. After that, President Xi made a very important speech. Actually, the major point you have already heard of in the previous packages. And here I want to emphasize that the President warned against the attempt to erode the national sovereignty and to challenge the government power, the central government power. As you know, that the one country, two system is the basic principle to handle the issue of Hong Kong. So the President also say it is important to construct a socialist China. It is important as well to construct a capitalist Hong Kong. Back to you.
Now, of course, the swearing in of Carrie Lam and her cabinet does come at an important date. This is, of course, the 20th anniversary of Hong Kong's return to the mainland. Just how important is this 20th anniversary to the people of Hong Kong as well as the mainland?
Yeah, of course, it means a lot. Because in the previous speeches, actually the President made several speeches after he arrived. He arrived in Hong Kong, the first one in the airport, and then yesterday afternoon when he had a big party with the representatives from all walks of life in Hong Kong, and together this morning's speech. In all these speeches, the President mentioned many times that a closer relationship in terms of economy will be strengthened by both the government and the people. Secondly, I think that the Hong Kong people don't have to worry about their future. We know that Hong Kong has a history of protest. Actually, this afternoon on the way to the studio, I saw some of these people protesting. But after that, I'm sure after they heard of the President's remarks I mentioned in the first answer, it is important to construct a a capitalist Hong Kong, I'm sure that these people don't have to worry about their future. And thirdly, you know, the Hong Kong is a very important gateway for China, either in the past or for the future, to communicate or to in business with the outside world. And Hong Kong is still playing a very important role in the Belt and Road Initiative. And we know that China and Africa is now doing quite well in implementing the Belt and Road Initiative. So I'm sure Hong Kong will be playing a very important role and will be benefiting from these policies, especially in terms of the cooperation between China and Africa. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much for speaking to us here on Africa Live. That was CGTN's Zhu Zhaokun joining us live from Hong Kong.